It's Ferrari's 70th anniversary, so they're displaying 70 of their most important cars today at Pebble Beach, worth over, I don't know, $500 million. So a lot of these are from the 70th anniversary collection. Wow. Alright, so these cars are obviously supposed to model after significant historical cars as well for their 70th anniversary. This one, the Dino 206 Competizione.
I don't even know if so.
With some race livery on it. This obviously models after the 250 TR. Something else pretty crazy, obviously La Ferrari Barchetta 70th anniversary. My god, look at this 250 GTO.
I could have bought one of them.
Alright, so those were just the appetizers, so to speak. Look at all of these. So this is an interesting one. 250 GT Bernaletta short wheelbase. So this was in racing competition, and you can tell not only by the racing livery on it and all the air vents, but by this thing. See, this is an important deflector. When they're racing, they don't want to have the windshield interrupted by bugs and things like that. So this actually blocks that from hitting the driver's side of the window. Oh man, another 250 GTO. This does not end. Interesting the way the windows are split. Obviously involved in some racing itself. Wow. There are some really old Ferraris, some of them racing, some of them obviously pedestrian cars like this one. But look at this, guys. Wow. It's so tiny, rounded, and almost still modern. Really gorgeous color combination with the silver and red. Damn. So a lot of these I haven't even heard of, so I'm reading some of the signs. 500 Mondial, obviously a race car itself as well. Very cool, you can see the metal bolts. Look at this, 250 Monza. Again, you have that floating wheel arch look that you have in the Testarossa. But here the most accentuated thing is the nose. This is the coolest angle. See the lights mirroring. Normally you think of race cars being designed by aerodynamics, but I mean these are truly, you know, beautiful looking cars. Here's an iconic car. Alright, so the 512 doesn't exactly look close to this when they were done with it for the race car, but this is a very, very cool car. Just look at the glass back and the size of the engine. Extended wheel arches, basically touching the ground, roll cage, race seat, vents everywhere. And it just looks outrageous, doesn't it? California. But not a California in the sense that you think of today. No, these were top of the line, very expensive. And very Californian indeed. Alright guys, so there's two main old Ferraris that I'd love to own when I'm older if I either rob a bank or win the lottery. One of them being the 275. I'll take coupe or convertible. Probably coupe because these are much less rare than a convertible, if you can even say rare, but look how stunning it is. They have them in yellow, black, gray. This is the other one. The Ferrari Daytona. This time I'd take it as a convertible, but look at how crazy this yellow is. A very flat, light yellow, and it just works with the black accents. Simple car. Obviously, the Daytona seats came from this car. You have the Daytona pattern. Wow, but look at this. The front is totally different. Alright, so now we are on to the more modern cars, if you can call them modern. The F50s specifically, another car that I'd love to have, and I know I'm a little bit contradictory right now, because I said I wanted 2 cars and I was done, but I've realized I'm a bit car obsessed, so I'll shut up now. Look at this. A black F50, but the coolest thing that I've noticed about it, other than it not being red, is you see the weave a lot more with this color. Check this out. Look, you can barely see me in the reflection. It's almost like a filter on it. Interesting that the F50 is next to this race car, because really that F50 is derived off of an F1 car. A lot of the suspension specifically as well. This is also a Schumacher car as well, if it wasn't cool enough already. At this point, I seem to be stopping at every single car. Barchetta Maranello, very rare car as well. Funny thing about it is it couldn't reach a certain speed with the roof on because it would fly off. But that's typical Italians for you, right? Speaking of yellow, 288. Really, really rare to see this in this color. And this obviously has to be the Ferrari muscle car. Just look at the hips. It's a V8. Very, very cool Stradale. One of my favorite cars, but I'm not alone in that category. I'd have it in this, red with the Italian stripe. And don't forget the stripe. Many do. We thought the Barchetta was rare. This is a Super America. Very funky roof with this, so it is a glass and carbon fiber roof that literally flips like this. Very, very simplistic, but really funky when it's off and when it's on. Look at the gap that it leaves. And then look at the almost bubbled glass effect. Oh man, oh man. FXX. It just gets more and more outrageous. So this obviously is a souped up Enzo. You already had to be on a special list to get an Enzo. You had to own an Enzo to get one of these. And this is a pretty crazy car because not only did it have more than 700 horsepower, but it actually could do over 240 miles an hour. Alright, I thought I saw enough LaFerraris, but I guess you can never see enough of them. Here is a actually pretty well known black one with the race livery stripe across the front of the hood. Alright guys, I am losing my shit. Not only have we seen all of those rare cars and race cars, here are some of the Ferrari one-offs that were made specifically for customers, well, I guess because they're special. Alright, so starting with the F60 America, obviously a crazy car already because it is totally different from the original and it's a convertible conversion. Not only that, it has the American spirit in it, I guess you could say. Looks like almost an aftermarket company did it. It's really, really crazy. Saw this last in Italy actually at the... Alright, so here is the Sergio off of a 458 originally, but you can tell there's not much left of it. It's a very, very different looking car now. Mirrors are totally different even. A lot of the lines are. The rear deck lid here. Seat pattern's even different. And you can see from the back, well, it's unrecognizable, isn't it? Besides those tail lights, but even those seem a little bit different too. Okay, so it's fair to say that was pretty insane. We saw all the Ferraris we could. Obviously, again, the trend here in Monterey seems to be overwhelming because there's just the sheer amount of rare and expensive Ferraris here was insane. But I took you around again, all the ones that stood out to me that I also knew about, like the one-offs, the race cars, and the obviously part of the hypercars like the F40, F50, and the LaFerraris. Now that's not even Pebble Beach.